For us, when we think about ESG is just a way for companies to really show how they're working to make the world better tomorrow. And we do believe that if all companies and all of us work together, that we can make the world a better place. We really mean it in three frames of reference. So there's the simplest way, which is just the day after tomorrow, and we do often talk about tomorrow in that way. Next would be, I like to think of it as something that's objective-oriented or action-oriented, that there's some date or milestone in the future, and we want to make something happen by then. Often, though, what we mean at WJ when we say tomorrow is a little bit more grandiose than that. And I think that's the thing, is that WJ and many of the clients that we work with, we do think tomorrow will be better than today. And wherever you think we are now, whether the world is good or bad, I do think that tomorrow can be and will be better. I think that negative change can happen overnight and we can find ourselves in a very different world. But positive change is not something that's just you're gonna wake up tomorrow and it's gonna be better. So you have to continually, day after day, make things a little bit better. And you see this kind of compounding interest or something, where you see compounding positive change. And you might not feel it in that day that you're making things better, but if you just keep working at it, 10 years from now, you'll find yourself in a better world. And I do feel like we're reaching a turning point in regards to many topics related to ESG. For example, the environment, like diversity and inclusion and workers' rights and even global inequality. It feels like there's a turning point in history where we really have to commit ourselves to making a world that's better for everybody. And I do believe that companies have a responsibility, because I think that companies have more and more power, and I don't think that that trend is going to stop. So it is up to them to help create the future that we all want. And beyond that, all stakeholders, whether it's government or employees or communities or our customers, investors, they're all expecting change, and they're expecting companies to be more responsible. ESG is a way of setting a target and measuring what it is where you are relative to that target. And by setting a target and measuring it, it's going to help you make that incremental change. And if you don't do that, then you're far less likely to actually realize that future that you want. I think a lot of people still think of ESG as the environment, and that's the thing that they go to first. And we really need to broaden our thoughts around ESG and take it beyond the environment, because it is much more than that, right? It's also social and governance. The next thing I would say is, I think it would be disingenuous to think that a lot of businesses do have ESG strategies. I think a lot of businesses that say they do, they've done enough to credibly say they do, but it's still something that's very new in their organization, and they're trying to figure out how to set their targets and how to report on them and how much of an impact they want to have. You just need to start educating yourself on the matters, educating yourself on what ESG is and some ways that you can have a positive impact on the world. You need to make sure that you're setting a goal that you wouldn't have just done anyway. So you want to set goals that are a bit of a stretch, but that if you work for them, you can hit. And I think if you do that, then you'll find that you have improved your business, and for whatever reach and potential impact you have, you can help make the world better bit by bit.